Today, we start our campaign with Umeå IK, and I am very, very excited. I've actually managed to make a transfer in all the business we've had in the 54 days since we met up. It's literally been 54 days since we actually got anything done. We've had a lot of friendlies that I went over and did. I'll just show you the highlights of that right now. We lost a few of them, but we beat your Gardens, top flight team. We lost the IK and Malmo, top flight teams as well. Malmo were champions of our division last year, so that's an interesting time. And I think the fact we drew 2 more games and then won this last one 4-1, and then the very last one 5-1 is a good sign. I'm actually going to go over the players we actually got because I realised I never did that last time out, which is a bit bad on my part to have gone into a new series but not introduced the players that we currently have. And I've also discovered that thanks to comments and do some more research on the team, like I literally found the finals of the UEFA Women's Cup as it was once known, but now the Champions League finals in the women's side of things. Some of the players that were involved in making Umeå IK one of the best teams in the world. And I truly hadn't realized Marta had played for them until I did some more research, and it was made apparent to me that she had actually played for them, and it was where she became the world's best player, which is an extra reason to really want to make Umeå IK one of the best teams of all time, and they were restored back to their former glory. Hannah Lundberg, I also discovered thanks to the comments and actually going through their first European triumph, got 10 goals in the competition and was really ruthless in front of goal. We've got Hannah Möckland, Frida Schudberg, and Malin Maston as also really good players for the team. And I just look at some of these names that I've discovered as a result of doing this research. It's so weird. I recognize some of the people involved. I've also really only figured out about some other players like Lauren Kamari as well. That's interesting. I'm also realizing I'm probably butchering the name, but it is interesting to discover some of the things that we are looking at here. But that being said, let's go over the players we have and who are considered our best players, because we have a few players that I'm very excited about. And look at the ages, by the way. The fact that we only got 2 players that are 27 or over is a good sign. May have also got this player on loan, Emilia Hardberg, on trial. Sorry, not on loan. She's on trial right now. She hasn't got club, so I'm trying her for 4 weeks. She's not going to play for me, but it's one of those things I wanted to look at and say, okay, here we go. But if I was to go by current ability, Annie Mietten is our best player. Left back and inside wing back. I don't particularly use those, but she can definitely play as a wing back either way. She's right-footed though, so that makes it interesting, but she's good at corners and free kicks and decent with long throws. So it's not like it's the end of the world. I actually had a bid for her that I had turned down. It was actually a loan bid from Bromma Paikkonen. I think it is. Oh god, I would have gone to send a name. Hold on, one sec. I'm literally using Google Translate to do this pronunciation, by the way.
IF Brommapojkarna.
IF Bromma Paikkonen.
Brommapojkarna.
Bromma Paikkonen is the team that actually made an attempt of a loan for Miettuna, and it was 16k that I'll get at the end of the season, not now. So I decided to say no. I know she's only got this year left, and we're only paying her £230 a week, but she's getting 5% of her wages, so there's that. Nicole Robinson is our main striker, American. Didn't realize we had an American on our team, but again, one of those things we can work on. And she's actually one of the older players too, which is surprising. I keep forgetting how young some of these teams are, but I'm not so upset by that. And we also got Alma Nygren. I think I'm going to pretend that's how it's said.
Alma Nygren.
Alma Nygren. Nygren? I think it's how you would say it, but Alma Nygren is the level player that we're looking at. Our main midfielder, really, but I'm also looking at playing her as a defensive midfielder. Deep line playmaker, she's perfect for the role as far as I'm concerned. It's her best position for us in that regards. So I've got to look at it and say, hopefully we could do better. I am very upset by the fact that Sissela Ik is actually injured long term with the Achilles tendon. She's a great midfielder otherwise, and I'm hoping we can keep that going otherwise. But we're actually going to go to the match that we're playing on first and foremost. We are expected to be the better team, Elfsborg are newly promoted, so there's that. But I'm actually going to go over the players we have. And Majda Brand is only 20. She's got a contract until the end of the year, but she is a leading player first division. I am excited. She looks like a decent goalkeeper, and I'm very hopeful we can get that going. We have got a very Thurston. Forgive my pronunciation. It's going to be terrible for a lot of these players. So I'm probably going to butcher your language until I get better at it, really. But she's my right back for the time being, for the starter point. I also realized that we need 9 homegrown players in the match squad. We got 15, so we don't have to worry about that anytime soon. We've also got Emma Becker, who is Swedish, and thank God, one of the easier names to say. She is going to be very good for our point of view for the homegrown thing. She can get better too. So with her being on a 3-year deal and one of our important players, it makes sense to have her starting. Tilda Solan, young talent, I'm actually giving her a new contract. I'm only paying her about £20 more a week, but I feel like we need her. She's got great potential. She's a good player for this division right now. Only 20, meaning that she could definitely grow a bit more into a better player. So hopefully we can be excited by that. I also don't know what is considered a tall player for the women's game, so forgive me for that one. I've already introduced you to my left back, Anna Mietunen. Elman Higuain, we already introduced you as well. She's going to be my DM for the time being. I know she could play as midfielder, attacking midfielder, as striker, but Lania Vestbrum is going to be my centre midfielder on the right-hand side. And I'm going to have Isabel Goldman as my midfielder on the left-hand side. She's actually only 18, which makes her very, very exciting longer term. She's got great potential. She's also wanted by Pital, I think. So I'm going to assume she is going to get a lot of bids. It also says in her thing it's a breakthrough prospect. I'm just going to ignore that. But Agnes Bronston is going to be my right winger for this game. I must confess, I don't know how good some of these players are until I'm going to use them. But it's one of those things. She can play so many positions, though. It's ridiculous. My left winger is going to be Cassandra Larson. I'd like to think I got that one down, at least. She's a leading player for this division and can get better even still. I am very hopeful that we can rely on her for the left side and keep her around for a couple of years. She's also one of our highest paid players. I think it's a joint highest. It's £270 a week. And then we've got Nicole Robinson, one of the important players as well. She's one of the older players in the team. Won't get much better. So maybe strikers are an area we need to improve in the future. And that's a thing. But on my bench, Jasmine Minovisk, I think is how you say it. I know that this part is easy enough to say. She's my backup goalkeeper. I don't know how much action she'll be getting, is what I'm going to say. But the one thing I did make, Emina Trimic is probably the only player I'm going to sign. She's on a non-contract, so if she plays, she gets paid. She's got Bosnian international caps as well, so she's got that, but she's not particularly great, but has potential to get better, so I'm not terribly upset by that. I do need her to get faster eventually and get better jumping reach, but other than that, she's got good potential to do well. She is also homegrown in club, or homegrown in nations. One of the reasons I signed her, honestly. But Liv Tramberg. How do I say this one?
Liv Tjärnberg.
Shambay? So, Liv Tramberg or Shambay, apparently? If I'm getting lied to, then that's annoying, but she is 17. She's got one of those players that's got really great potential in the future. I don't have a face pack for her just yet. I would love to get that sorted out eventually, very quickly, but she's on the bench right now. And Judith Eklund is also on the bench. Another young midfielder, great potential. Is 20, so whether or not she can get much better is a different question, but she'll probably get some first team minutes anyway. Thea Baxton is going to be one of those players that I'm also going to give a lot of first team football to if she is coming on from the bench. She's 20 as well. Not great current ability, but I'm not concerned by that. And then we've got Emma Astrom. He's actually good enough for this division. He's going to get first team minutes from the bench as well for the time being. And my last player on the bench is Mimi Pearson. So I have a lot of potential to work with. I also realize there's not a lot of strength outside the first team. So there's that. But we also have Stella Jonsson, who's not being selected. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using her much, to be honest with you. But one of the players that's injured longer term is Ina Amkoff. Probably would use her, but she's out for long-term injury. She is out for 5 to 7 months due to a torn ACL. And Stina Anderson would be a player I'd use if she wasn't long-term injured again. 20 years of age, got great potential, but out for 2 to 4 months due to a torn knee ligament. And I've already mentioned the injury here for 4 to 7 weeks, but Cecilia Eek is probably the main person I'm missing because of what she could do. Great potential, still only 19. Has already said that she's going to explore her options at the end of the contract, which is not ideal. But the 2 players I've got that are not being selected, Tilda Emilison Nordbot. I don't... Why do you need the end at the end of your name? I don't understand it. But she's 17 years of age. Great potential. I don't know much about her other than that. But Julia Holmgren, another player with good potential. Another fullback. So we got plenty of fullbacks. It's just centre backs we need to get more in. And that's why we've gone for this particular situation. This is why Trumich has been brought in. I realise I'm absolutely butchering the Swedish language and some of the names here. But I'm also going to go ahead and think, I don't think that's the end of the world as long as we win this game and potentially the next game if we do that as well. So let's see how we do in our first game as the Umeå manager. I took too long of a pause in between those 2 words, but okay. And we've also got 3 players who are lacking in match sharpness. Cool. Okay, I have no idea what to expect from this, but the fact that every player that we've chosen for this game has got a face is a good sign. And in fact, there's only 1 player in their team that doesn't have a face in the preseason thing is interesting. We are playing on the Sunday, so everyone who's played on the Friday and Saturday have already played. And this is the first time we're going to be watching a game from the women's side of things. That's going to be interesting to say the least. I've also just realised how short my captain is, apparently. But I'm just going to assume it's like a non-league situation, even though we've got like a 10,000-seater stadium or something like that. So this is going to be interesting to discover how this is going to go and flow. And I like to think that my tactics will work here as we concede a corner early on inside the 4th minute of the game. Am I really about to go 1-0 down early on? I hope not. We did. Alice Bromans has scored. Okay. That's not a good start, is it? Of all things I thought we'd be going behind to, a corner was not one of them. But okay, we have gone behind thanks to a corner. But a highlight straight off the bat from the corner should be a good sign that we need to wake up. And here's West Brom, the Brandstone. And I really hope there's a run being made here. They are congesting the midfield very tightly, aren't they? And Decker plays the ball back. Okay. This is going to take some getting used to, is just how I'm not playing a team that completely dominated the top tier. And we're playing with a different team, different set of players, different type of players too. And how many Swedish names there are in this. But we've equalised. Isabel Goldman has scored the first goal under my leadership. Huzzah! And it was actually a nice cutback. I was a bit surprised she was able to get through, but we went behind for very long and that's good. And this is an opportunity to really do something here. Goldman again on the ball. Plays it across, and that's an unlucky chance to have missed. Ooh, we could have gone ahead there. Okay, so it's one of the first highlight we've seen. They're going more attacking, apparently. That's interesting. They're going trying to attack against us. And I'm still going for the balance approach. But Larson gets the ball back anyway from their own area, or the edge area. West Brom... Okay, for goal does. It is over. All right. I'm going to have to get used to the fact that we're not going to have a lot of games in this first season either. We've only got 26 games plus the cup, I believe. I could be wrong when I say that, but here's Brandstrom. Robertson is, I'm assuming, by the last line of defense. Here's Goldman, and that is a great save. It looks offside, though. It was. I will admit, I'm a bit disappointed that we're not leading in this game. We should be doing better. And I'm going to tell the players as such, we need to do better, please. Come on. I expect more from you. And the fact we're getting the passes going, the fact we're getting the shots on goal is a good sign. XG not being particularly great, but we've got the opening goal. It just took going behind to get the opening goal in the first place. And if the set piece is anything to go by for that incident, that's a concern. Thankfully, we didn't go and consider anything else from a set piece that I've seen the other highlights so far, but there you go. But we're keeping the ball nicely. We're doing ourselves a good job so far. We just need to make sure we get the lead at some point. It's also nice to be playing in a licensed league in the women's side of things. That's going to be fun to experience here. And Brantham could do something here. This feels like a long highlight that's going to lead to a chance. And Respoon goes for goal. It was blocked and it's a corner. I'm also only got 7 substitutes, so I didn't actually bring any fullbacks onto the bench. So this may come back to bite me eventually. I don't know. But we almost scored the opening goal, or at least the first goal that gives us the lead in this game. Okay. We've been the better team in everything but the scoreline. We do need to get our players doing well as well. As Goldman's on the ball, plays it to Larson. That could be a penalty. I'm certain that is a penalty. Come on, guys. There's no VAR, is there? Okay, that's great. So, who is going to take this penalty? It looks like Robinson. Robertson, anyway. Is it Charlotte? It is. It's got to be... Oh my gosh, I've got the wrong name. It's Nicole Robertson. But there we go. We got the opening lead. And finally, we lead in the league. And Nicole did what she needed to do. And that's great. The fact I literally introduced you to the players and I got the first name wrong. I am so sorry. That's kind of awkward, isn't it? Okay, so Larson's getting tired, as is Fjellstrom, which is a bit concerning. I don't actually have a right back, do I? That can come on. But there's also a highlight for Elfsborg. And I don't want to concede here to a new promoted team. As they get the ball in. Oh my god! Offside, thankfully. We got away one there. Good lord. Okay. Don't do that to me. Come on, guys. Looked like she did a long run up for a hoof up the pitch, but she didn't. And that was nice. Here is Beck anyway. This might come back to another highlight anyway that we can get a goal from. Which would be lovely if we could. As Brantham finds Robertson. Here's Goldman. It'd be nice to get a third goal, to double our lead for the afternoon. Especially after we went behind early on. And apparently she misread the play. But we somehow lost the ball anyway. I don't understand that. Okay. Wouldn't that mean it's a free kick for us then? Oh, we get the ball back anyway. This is nice. We get to run the ball back quite quickly, don't we? That's really good to see. Here is an opportunity then. Robertson. Good ball to Larson. Larson goes for goal. It's wide. Close. And now I might make some changes. And ladies and gentlemen, we win our first game in charge. And that is pleasant, to say the least. We're up to 4th as things stand. Which is going to be a good start. And hopefully we can do better. And we weren't even at our best, apparently. So there's that. Good stuff. She's out for 1 to 3 days. That explains a few things. And also, we've got Solen to get a new contract. So that's good. 2-year deal. Which is literally adding another year and £20 to the wages. But it's one of those things. I thought she was worth the money, personally. Especially since she only had 1 year left in her deal anyway. There's only 2 people at a press conference, by the way. I'm just going to show that I'm actually doing these. So after the first game of the season, we win 2-1. We have got a long way to go. 25 more games. Only 25 more games, honestly. I thought it'd be more than that. But we do lead the season in 4th place. So I'm excited to see where we can go from here. Given it's only going to be 1 game per week for a while now, I might just go ahead and play until a certain point, like 10 games in, and go from there. I'm just considering what I want to go for, because I think I can get it for the first season quite quickly, given the situation. And also, I know who my Swiss Cup opponent is. I was just an idiot who couldn't see his opponent was this team, who are not in the Playable League, so we should be able to beat them comfortably, I think. Apparently, we're meant to go quite deep in this tournament too, according to the expectations to reach the group stage. I have no idea when to get the group stage. So let's find the rules. Second round. Oh, it's 3rd round, then the group stage. So it's the quarterfinals, effectively. Yeah, okay. So we need to get through 2 games to get to the group stage. So there's that. Good. That's good to know. But I'm actually just going to end it here. We don't need to go too much deeper into this right now. I think I can just take on the challenge we have before us and go from there. So what I'm going to do is end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot. And let me know if you have any interesting stats or facts about Swedish football generally. I'm curious to hear about them, really. I like learning about new countries and new football styles. It's always interesting to me. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.